3 months ago, I showed you Aspa's secret. It was a horn growing out of her head. What I didn't tell you, though, is it's not just the horn. Everything about her is changing. We have a lot in common there. In that video, I said that she wasn't finished, and neither was I. But I didn't really know how true that was. I can't start Volume 2 until I know what she's becoming. I need to see the end before I can even draw the middle. I think this drawing really shows a lot of the features that, in my world, unicorns have, but I just don't think that this really shows all the majesty I'd like for Aspa to have. I'm going to start from scratch, and I'm going to recreate Aspa and try to give her the majesty and elegance that I think that she really deserves. Which is notable because carnivorous unicorns aren't the first thing you think of when you think of the word elegant. One of the things I really pride myself on is using realistic anatomy and realistic features of different animals in order to create my version of mythological animals. I'm a huge horse nerd, so feel free to try to keep up, but if you can't, I'll also try to explain all of the weird horse terminology as it comes up. Just for a little backstory, because we love backstory here. Aspa is a mix between an Arabian, or at least what was an Arabian horse back 2,500 years ago, and a Nicaean horse. The Nicaean horse was a horse from ancient Persia. It doesn't exist anymore. They were the pride of the Achaemenid Empire, and they were typically the horses of royalty. Horse breeds aren't really like the way they are today back then. They really focused more on types. Like, they care more about what the horse can do and its function than its exact lineage. The Nicaean horse ranged anything from a light horse with fine bone and thin features to a heavy horse, which are more like the draft horses that you know from today. They were most well known for how beautiful they were, their large size, and how fast they were, which made them really ideal war horses. And specifically for Aspa, her dam was the Arabian and her sire was the Nicaean. This comes up later in the story. One thing you may not know about unicorns is that if you go back long enough, the stories are not like what they are today. They mention how unicorns are terrifying, and a lot of the myths that we have today stem from some of these terrifying features, with early accounts describing them as a fierce one-horned animal of the East. My interpretation of this extends to making a horse somehow into a carnivore. They start off normal enough. They look just like horses, maybe with weirder, bigger teeth, but horses have canines too. But around age 4 to 5, they start changing. This isn't a simple or easy process. For mares, female horses, their body becomes flooded with testosterone. This fuels some of the physical characteristics that start happening, and unfortunately these are very painful. Their hooves, which look normal as far as horse hooves go, end up splitting down the middle and become cloven. Horses are considered odd-toed ungulates, which means a class of animals that have only 1, 3, etc. toes. And there's usually not a lot of crossover. Even-toed and odd-toed ungulates are not very closely related, so this seems weird at first. Further adding to the weirdness, these cloven hooves are sharp, more like claws than typical hooves. But if you look more closely, underneath the feathering, aka the long hair at the end of the leg, move that hair to the side and you'll see a huge sickle claw. So they're odd-toed ungulates after all. The hair on the tail gets thicker and longer and curlier. The overall build is larger too. Not only the height might change slightly and the horse will get a little taller, but more significantly, the horse gets bulkier, moving from a delicate frame of the Arabian to a more massive, large-bodied horse like a and illusion. The mane also gets thicker and curlier, and the crest of the neck that the mane attaches to gets extremely large. The canines get more pronounced and actually protrude outside of the mouth, sort of like a saber-toothed cat. The neck being so large isn't just for show, it's for a purpose, with the purpose being to be able to support this massive, enormous horn on top of her head. This horn isn't something she's born with, it's something that erupts from her forehead. At first, it's just itchy, but becomes exceedingly painful as it starts growing. It's solid bone, it doesn't fall off, like a deer's antlers do. The base of the horn starts near the poll, which is the area between the ears on top of the horse's head, and extends down, stopping between the eyes. Both the front of the horn and the back of the horn are serrated. The front of the horn has large serrations, however, the interior has small, finer serrations. The overall body shape is different as well, different compared to an Arabian, a Nicaean horse, or any other breed for that matter. Possibly it looks a little bit like a thoroughbred, the fast racing horses of our day, but it most resembles the body type of a cheetah or a Saluki, a giant, wide, deep chest cavity reaching up to a more narrow waist, more narrow than is typical for a horse. The horn, the teeth, the claws all aid this creature in hunting. It's not exclusively a hunter. While it does predate on other animals, it also can still eat grass, and does for the majority of its diet. However, to be able to fuel this body type, it needs more protein! In Aspa's case, her coat color changes as well. Her eye color stays the same, piercing blue. Her coat color starts off gray, very typical for Arabians, but changes almost to perlino, which is a rare coat color in horses that gives them a shiny metallic look to their bodies. The thing that doesn't make sense genetically is that her skin is still dark around her muzzle and her eyes. So if you're also a horse nerd, you tell me what coat color that is, because I don't know. I guess it could be palomino or something like that, but very odd. Like I had mentioned, all these physical attributes are fueled by testosterone, which also gives Aspa her signature attitude, shall we say. The pain in her body seems to be betraying her. Some of this aggression is fear, because everything hurts and she doesn't know why. Through a lot of stages of life, we can understand how our bodies just do things that we don't exactly want them to. And sometimes it feels like we're fighting against our own biology altogether. She's fighting an internal battle as well, to become who she really is. Biology be damned. On the surface, maybe this looks all like magic. Maybe you go away, you come back, and you see this magnificent creature standing in front of you, and you don't know how it came to be there. But this isn't magic. It hurts. Her horn itches. Then, constant searing pain. Her hooves crack open, her body doesn't fit her skin. Because sometimes, becoming yourself is the most painful thing a body can do. In a lot of ways, I get it. I know what it feels like. Not the horn, the rest of it. More internal than external, but, as you get older, plenty of things happen with your body that you did not sign up for and no one tells you about. This year, I had to start over, and it was a lot. Aspa, she might just be a drawing on a page, but in a lot of ways, we're the same. On the outside, her body, my life, they're both catching up to who we really are on the inside. Her personality has stayed the same for quite a while now, certainly through the whole first volume of the Golden Troupe. The outside finally matches the inside. She fully and literally embodies it. She was always this. It just took her body time to catch up. The cost of becoming yourself is high. Uncertainty can be slow and painful, but it's worth it. Here she is in her final glory. Her horn, also known as a crown. Her tail is called a flag. A dangerous predator. Some might even say the most dangerous animal on the planet. Because she has another secret that I haven't mentioned yet. There's a reason why she looks like she has the build of a cheetah. I'll talk about that in another video. For now, I've done it. I know what the final form looks like, so I can start getting there. I always find it a lot easier to know my final end goal and work backwards. This design allows me to do just that. This all means so much for Volume 2. This is a huge, not just plot point, but a whole exploration I'm going to be delving into with this second volume. Aspa's not hiding anymore. She's not waiting anymore, and neither am I. I just uploaded a ton of stuff behind the scenes, even more than what I got into in this video, and it's over on the Slipstream. So if you want to check that out, you can go to my Patreon or my website. But I gotta go. I got more world to make.